welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I am double filming tonight. I'm in the mood to talk, and I'm in the mood to read comments, and I'm in the mood to respond to comments, so I apologize. But if you like the videos, then I mean more content, but I just really want to talk tonight. So thank you so much for clicking on this video, and we are talking about someone that we haven't talked about for quite some time actually, which is, to clarify, not talking about someone for quite some time is good. In this instance though, it was that the person completely went away. So the person is James Charles. Now, again, before we get into it, I have water here because I am not prepared to get dehydrated over talking about James Charles, just so we're clear. So go get yourself some water because you shouldn't either. So now we can start the video. Okay, so anyway, James Charles has been posting videos now on YouTube after his, remember, supposed break because, and I'm saying that because it didn't last that long, because of all the scandals that were happening with all of the underage boys. Now, the fact that, like, that's a normal sentence to say, by the way, oh, the scandals with the underage boys, you know? Like, that's not normal to say. But anyway, with James Charles, there were all of the stories coming out from underage boys, and young men who were saying that he was basically abusing his power to talk to them and make them do certain things for him over text or over Snapchat. Allegedly, this is all alleged. And it really did seem that at a certain point in time, that isn't that long from here, you know, in the past, that James was having a new story come out against him every single day. And sometimes on every single day, there would be multiple stories that came out at once. And I know from talking about it, and I know from making videos on it and reading the comments on it, how exhausting that was and that time period was. But the worst thing about it is, with James, it is a reoccurring thing. And I'll be making a video coming up soon. I want to do a little bit more deep diving into it before I do it. But basically, James Charles is on dating profiles again. And now, a lot of people don't have an issue with that. They're like, alright, like, he's someone who's gonna date, he's on his dating profiles, whatever. However, I'm sorry, I find it extremely uncomfortable that James Charles is on these dating profiles for this reason. Number one, he has his gender set to woman on these profiles, and now, that's not an issue. You can identify with whatever you want to identify with, gender fluid, non-binary. However, James has stated in the past that he does that because it gets him to match with more men. Like, you know, because if you are on Tinder, or you're on Hinge, or you're on any of these other dating platforms, and you have yourself set as man, it'll show you woman, because that's the way these, like, apps are set up, right? So if you're set as woman, you can say that you're woman interested in women and men. So it'll show you all of the straight men. I don't know why I'm doing that, but you know, it's just complicated to explain. However, James has stated in the past, allegedly, I don't even need, you know what I mean, that the reason he does that is, oh, it opens up this whole new world. And I have a huge issue with that, and I don't mean to be, oh, I have an issue with it. I just, from someone who talks about this, we're gonna have another set of stories coming very soon, where if it's not underage boys or barely legal boys, it is with people who, straight boys, who feel that they're like getting led on or very uncomfortable by James. Anyways, that's beside the point. So there's this video now by Hollywood Fix. If you do not know, it is the celebrity where they follow around the paparazzi for YouTubers and influencers. So basically for like D-list people, they follow them around with cameras, and most of the time they are called on themselves. We know this because all of the YouTubers make jokes about other YouTubers calling Hollywood Fix on themselves, and also Hollywood Fix has the phone numbers of like most of these YouTubers, and they literally say that in the things like, oh, I was texting you or whatever, oh, you told me you were gonna be here. And it's like an inside joke, but everyone now knows that they all call it on themselves. Tana has spoken up about this, and so James got Hollywood Fixed, and the guy met him in the street. It literally is the most, you know, like, easy to tell it was set up already, but that doesn't matter, you know, YouTubers do that. And I'm gonna pull it up here. And I've skipped into a certain section because I'm very interested with the way that James is carrying the conversation about why he was gone from the internet and why he needed to take a break. So, you're not gonna believe this, but we know the reason that James took a break from the internet in a now deleted video called, you know, Holding Himself Accountable, was that he was desperate and he was doing too much online and he was messaging too many people, and that he did message, I think he confirmed that he messaged 2 underage boys. So he left the internet because of that, right? And people were calling it out, and it was story after each other, and it was a bit too much for him and his PR team, who were fucking sweating themselves, right? James deleted that video, right? Remember, he came back to YouTube basically saying that he's so happy to be back, and people were just creating fake stories, and he deleted the video in which he admitted to doing the things that he was then saying was fake, you know, delete all evidence. And he basically was doing a get ready with me, and he was saying about how he's moved on, and he's grown so much as a person, even though he only took like a week break. He's now being paparazzi'd. Look, this is how it starts, by the way.
I'm not gonna try.
So where like he's already standing mid-street, walking across with his high heels on, his outfit, and he's like putting his mask on, you know, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you just caught me. Anyway, so in this video, James gets asked about his break from YouTube, and I need to show you this because we keep up to date with things, right? We know the timeline, we know the narrative, we know what James posted then deleted. It can be deleted, but it was posted. James is approaching this as if he left the internet just because he needed some time and he was overworking himself. And I'm so sorry if you don't find error in that. I think that is so disgusting that you can come online with your platform. In my opinion, this is disgusting. You can come online in your platform as a grown man and you can admit to inappropriately texting one or two underage boys. That was all he confirmed, right? However, there were all these other alleged stories coming out. You can admit that and justify it by saying that you are basically sexually, what was the word? Desperate. It was justified. You took a little break because mainstream media were starting to pick up on it and your sponsors were in danger. And you come back a couple weeks after that, you delete that video and then post a new one, rewriting history, and now when being asked about it, you're saying that you were actually just overworked and that's why you needed to take a break from the internet, and that was it. And then gets asked about cancel culture and shoves it off as, oh, people are always trying to do that. How can someone with this big a platform, now I'm not saying any of this deplatforming shit, I'm just saying that it's quite curious, you know, about it, that someone with this big a platform, like 20 million subscribers, right, can come on, admit to that kind of stuff, get called out for it again and again and again, and then rewrite history after admitting that, like, what? That would never happen with a mainstream celebrity, by the way. This is because y'all have weird parasocial relationships with James Charles, who doesn't care about you, to think that he was used. You know, he was set up. Set up by who? A child? He needs parental control over his fucking Snapchat to stop who he's texting. Like, this is the thing, like, Snapchat they didn't have to kick him off the platform, right? They didn't even, like, act at all. They didn't release a statement. They didn't say that, all right, here's pictures of James Charles' ass that, like, children are posting online that they've been sent, or at least, like, 16, 17, 18 year, here's James showing his ass. That was on Snapchat. You know, props to YouTube, who at least whenever pressure gets, and now YouTube don't want to address it as well, right? However, when push comes to shove, YouTube address shit. YouTube reps will put out statements. You know, Susan Wojcicki, who is the YouTube CEO, kind of has a way of, and I actually think it's a really good method for the most part. She says that when drama happens on the platform, you know, they kind of let the community sort it out. And we've seen this really kind of work with Shane, you know, people calling him out and then he comes back fine. He comes back even more popular. You know, it never really affects these people, but YouTube, whenever really bad news stories will happen, will, you know, put their hand up and be like, all right, this happened on our platform, we've suspended this creator for 6 months. None of these other platforms did. But anyway, I just want you to, okay, sorry, I really am in the mood for talking today, I don't know if you realize. Let's see James rewrite history on why he was gone. All credit goes to James Charles catches us up on his life after taking a break from the spotlight in Beverly Hills by the Hollywood Fix. You can go watch the video. I am watching this for commentary purposes only, my love.
How have you been?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm good.
God, just while you're here.
Oh, you're fine. We're open air. It's open.
I know, I just wanted to be safe inside.
How has your mental health been? I haven't seen you in forever.
You know, it has been a while. I thought they were doing a paparazzi interview in the middle of it.
In the middle of the street, just so everyone can...
Wow, would you think of, look, James's friend's recording almost like they're filming a YouTube video. Can you imagine that we're getting paparazzi'd in the middle of a street? How did you find me? Like, fuck me.
Can see like where
Don't fuck me. I'm 19. I'm too old for
here
you.
we are.
Hello.
Hello, hey, what's up? So
Hey, I took a break for a while, but it was definitely much needed. We came back a couple months ago, and I've just been taking it really, really slow. Just getting into things and focusing on content. It's been really nice, I know.
I don't know about y'all, but I think it's really weird that he was forced into taking a break because of his inappropriate relationships with his fans, and he's now like, oh, that break was so nice. It was so needed. Like, you know what? Things just got a little bit too much. I was working too much. I just need a little break. A little red wine. Vacation. That's why these people never learn, but I mean, we're just here to talk.
I used to post 3 videos maybe a couple of years ago, then I went down to 2, and now I only do 1.
Okay.
But it's been really nice to just have a lot more time to just focus on myself and my makeup brand and all the products that I'm working on.
Focus on myself, my makeup brand, because that's more important than working on yourself, isn't it, James?
Not like I literally was at the point of like overworking myself so much to the point of exhaustion.
So this is what he's making the break out to be. And now even the guy who is interviewing him brings it back to him being cancelled, right? Because like, you were forced into taking a break, but because you were refusing to, and now you're like, oh, I need a vacay. I was overworking myself. Thank you, young boys, for speaking out.
Which was fine. Like I really come to the mentality that like that was the recipe for happiness and success. So I'm really glad that I've been focusing on more things that bring me happiness, and not so
What's that, James?
worried about like all the work aspects.
right, I get a lot of messages. People are like, "Go get James," and I'm like, I can't just.
Is it any wonder that they call the paparazzi on themselves outside of like designer stores? Tactical. The cat. The cats are fighting. Can you hear it? Yo, calm it. Oh my god, they're like grabbing each other's neck. As a father, pretend I'm not seeing that.
Wave a magic wand that he appears, like he has to come
We haven't been
out.
out as much, but we've been slowly getting back into things, going to dinners here and there. But I've just been really spending some time at home.
Okay, so obviously you're leaving out one very young reason that you were forced into taking a break, but don't worry, Hollywood Fix is gonna ask you about it.
Okay.
People that I love, friends that I love, doing things that I love. So
Are you?
yeah.
Cause like
I was gonna make a joke about the doing things I love, but you know what? I'm not.
I guess people. I guess would you say that you were like cancel culture? Were people like trying to cancel you basically?
I mean, that happens all the time on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time on the internet because every couple of months more people speak up, James. These people who complain about being cancelled every few months, let's look inwards. Let's look inwards. Why does that keep happening? Let's think.
He did just take a step away.
He just needed to take a step away. It's okay, y'all. He just needed to take a step away.
Okay. Well, what are you working on right now? What was the makeup line that you?
I know.
What's he working on? Creating new usernames to evade a Snapchat ban to text new boys. Woo! Jesus Christ. Hold on. This water's good, actually. This is really weird. I've never seen a YouTuber deflect as much as I have with James. And without being too problematic right now, I think that a reason that James does this is because, in my opinion, allegedly, he's probably still engaging in the same behavior. So he doesn't want to say that it was wrong, because when a new story, allegedly in my opinion, possibly, comes out in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, people are less, surprised, because he never really spoke up against it. Right? Right. Does that make sense to anyone else? Am I being stupid, or is that like completely rational? Ugh, icky. I want to know where you're at with it. We can talk about it below. It's like ridiculous. Alright, bye. Thank you for watching.